Hi friends, kamusta? So for today's video, we will talk about the questions that will possibly asked by immigration officers once you landed here in Canada. I interviewed a newly arrived international student during this pandemic, and he will share to us his experiences with regard to his application and the most important, the questions when he got to immigration airport in Canada. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Jason Jim and I am making videos about international students, workers, and even residents here in Canada. So don't forget to click the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so that you will be updated every time that I post a video. Also, watch until the end of the video as I will give you more tips on what to expect when you landed here in Canada, especially this pandemic season. Are you ready? Let's begin. So as you can see, I am in a different location and I am fortunate that I will have a face-to-face interview with a newly arrived international student. By the way, he is my brother. So let's welcome him.
Hi, so my name is Jeff from Cavite, Philippines. I graduated at De La Salle University, Dasmariñas, Cavite last 2015. I took Bachelor of Science in Hotel and Restaurant Management. And then after graduation, I went to United States for internship program for 1 year. So during my internship program, I'm planning to continue my studies, and I was accepted at Hassan University in Maine. And unfortunately, when the time I was planning for my student visa, I got denied and decided to go back home. In August 2018, I got an opportunity to work in Thailand at Havisa Hotels in food and beverage department again. While I was working, I realized that there is no career growth, and some of my supervisor advised me to continue my studies. In September 2019, I started to research on how to get a Canada student permit. I went back in the Philippines last December 2019 and started my application, and I chose CONESTOGA College with the program of Global Hospitality Management, and I got my letter of acceptance in January 2020 with the help of IDP Philippines. My original intake was May 2020, but due to the COVID, I deferred twice to January 2021. So I launched my application last February 2020, and before COVID hit, the processing time for regular stream application was 2 to 3 months. But again, because of the pandemic, it took me 10 months. Honestly, I lost my hope and to start to look for a job in the Philippines. But then, with God's grace, I was approved on December 28, 2020. I booked my flight last January 13 because my class started on January 18 and I need to consider the mandatory 14 days quarantine. So my preparation was I started to take care of myself because we know Canada is very strict in terms of health protocols. So on January 7, IRCC announced that all passengers going to Canada must have their certificate of negative test or PCR test within 72 hours prior to their flight. So I conducted my PCR test in Philippine Airlines affiliated clinics, and take note, they give special discount and treatment for their passengers. I downloaded ArriveCon where you can put your information about your quarantine plan, like where is your quarantine place, how will you get your food, and the other necessities. And also, I prepare my own quarantine letter. So when I landed in Canada, the first thing I did was I went to a kiosk and put the information, like I need to declare the food and money that I brought and personal information. And then you will get a printed document that you will show to immigration officer. On the first stage, the immigration officer asked for my passport, my letter of acceptance, the PCR test result, and the printed document from the kiosk. On the second stage of my experience, the immigration officer asked again for my letter of acceptance, PCR test result, proof of payment of my tuition, and the visa approval letter. So he asked me a lot of questions that took me 20 minutes. Like, why are you here in Canada and not in the Philippines since it's an online class? Second, the immigration officer was not convinced from the proof of payment from the CONESTOGA College, So I provided the original payment receipt from the bank in the Philippines. I also explained to the immigration officer the process of payment through wire transfer. Last, the most important things are the Quarantine Act and the ArriveCan. To all aspiring international students, you should strategize what province or what school you want to go to. Second, go to IRCC website to get all informations, or you can watch YouTube videos or join Facebook group that can help your application. Third, don't focus in big cities, but rather consider rural areas here in Canada where can you benefit in the future. Fourth, don't lose hope and be positive at all times.
Alright, so I would just like to thank my brother Jeff for all the details and experiences that he shared. And now, let's wrap up. The most important things that you need to know on how you prepare the questions of immigration officers in Canada Airport. First one is, all documents should be accessible. So make sure that all of your documents are with you, especially in your hand carry bag, in which you can easily access it. So whenever the immigration officer asks you for any document, you can provide it accordingly. And the usual documents that they will ask you to provide are your passport, the letter of acceptance or the LOA from your school, colleges, universities. The next is the letter of introduction or the LOI. So this is the document that you received when your study permit application is approved. You will be also providing proof of payment, proof of funds. Make sure that you also have the scanned copy of your documents in your phone so that you also have an alternative copy if you lost your paper documents. But of course, knock on the wood. So, by the way, you can watch this video, how to apply Canada study permit. Alright, so the second one is know the process of your application. So if you are an international student, make sure that you know the process of your study permit application. So from your school, college, or university, what program are you taking? When will your program end? How did you pay for your tuition fee? So those are the processes that you need to know. By the way, if you want to know how much does it cost to pay for the Canada study permit, you can also watch this video as I provided if the part-time job can also pay for your tuition fee here in Canada. Alright, so the third one is know your quarantine details. Since we are in pandemic season, make sure that you have a quarantine plan. So you should know where you're going to stay, especially for your quarantine place, how will you get food and other necessities, and you must know the Quarantine Act of Canada. And with that, this video will help you about the newest travel restrictions, especially the mandatory hotel quarantine. I also mentioned what to indicate in your quarantine letter, so watch this video. The fourth tip is answer the questions direct to the point and be concise. So whatever the immigration officer asks you, respond accordingly. So for example, until when are you going to study here in Canada? So answer the date indicated in your letter of application. No need to elaborate about your future application like your post-graduation work permit or like the PGWP. And lastly, be honest and confident with your answers. I know it's nerve-wracking when you are in the immigration, but what you need to do is that take a deep breath, smile, and be confident. So be truthful with your response. And for example, you didn't hear or you didn't understand the question, ask the officer to repeat it for you and ask him to elaborate the question so that you will accordingly respond to his or her question. Remember, you came to Canada to study, so you need to focus in answering the question of your studies and not working. Alright, so I really hope that these tips and this video help you in preparing to come to Canada. So try to practice the following questions and our tips so that you will also be prepared when you are with the immigration officer. I really hope that this video helps you, so don't forget to click the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so that you will be updated every time that I post a video. Again, thank you so much. My name is Jason Jin. See you to my next video. Bye!
On July 7, IRCC announced that all passengers going to Canada must have their negative COVID test or PCR test. Parang ano yun? Hindi, parang ano ko. Parang ano yun,
Hindi ka na normal.
normal.
Hindi ka na normal.
Napilit, parang pinilit.
Oo, tsaka ano, parang sila sa ulo mo na.
Oo nga, sige, isa pa. So, I conducted my PCR test in Philippine Airlines affiliated clinics. And take note. Ano yan?
Day what?
And you will get a printed document that you will use